Lesson 2 speaks of demonstrate mutual respect and trust for each other. Lesson 2 says demonstrate mutual respect and trust for each other.
Yeah. I guess love and respect tend to go hand in hand. I think what's respect? Respect is holding someone in high esteem. You can trust them to make, what's the word?
Good?
Sorry. Yeah, good and trustworthy decisions. And I think it can be verbal, where you agree with what they're saying, or by action, not where you're questioning, why have you done this? Just because you know the person, you respect that they are making the best decision for both of you.
Yes.
And therefore, that also goes along with trust.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean, if you are not understanding the decisions they are making, there's nothing wrong to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because sometimes I think what I find, we are very, very different. He is so logic, and I'm so melancholic and emotional.
Right.
And sometimes I wish you could stop being logic and just listen to my emotions.
Yes.
But I think because of that, he is able to make decisions which will stand a long time than when you make decisions when you're emotional. Because I can make, when you're emotional,
Yes.
the decisions you make are based on what's happening around.
Here
But
and now.
here and now. But because his logic, he can see further, saying, okay, these emotions are going to run over.
Yes.
And then what happens afterwards? Oh gosh, I shouldn't have promised I'll give you 10p.
Yeah.
And I'm going to find it from somewhere where he can say, no, I think we can't afford to give that. We can give 2p. So it's, so respect is, being able to trust someone. And I think sometimes the way you talk about them as well does matter.
Right.
Because if I'm going to rubbish him, when I'm talking with my friends, how are they going to respect him?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Worse off
I
even
think
with one's family.
Exactly. So the way I would treat him, that's the way the world that is looking are going to treat him. So if I'm saying you're unworthy, why should they think he is worthy?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And I think trust actually is it's a major component of any relationship.
Yes.
Once trust is broken, the relationship is on shaky ground. I think you will find in most relationships, when you start out, you trust each other. You do things without even questioning.
Right.
But if a reason is given to begin to distrust, then what that does is the very foundations of that relationship begin being gradually shaken. And I think a relationship becomes difficult to maintain. It's maintainable, but it becomes difficult to maintain because everything. I don't know whether in this scene we're allowed to quote some secular singers like Elvis Presley when he talks about we can't go on together with suspicious minds. You know? And essentially all he's trying to say is really that to build a relationship, you can't be suspicious of every move that is made because that makes it very difficult really to move forward. And that's why the two go hand in hand. When you have the respect, you respect someone.
Yes.
You also find it easy to trust them. And once the trust goes, the respect becomes contrived. Because it's almost being done because it's a duty rather than because it's happening
It's like the small child who says, you know, I'm kneeling down physically, but in my heart I'm standing up.
Standing up. Yes. I've heard of such children.
Right. And I think trust is such a major issue in a lot of marriages, trust and respect, is a major issue. And I think I love what you mentioned, how that you recognize your differences, but in recognizing those differences, you celebrate those differences, realizing that your area of weakness is his strength, and his area of weakness may be your strength, and that brings about a balance.
And there is a place for both, because it's a bit like you say, a linear thinker. I'm a linear thinker. I like things to one thing to follow to the next. But you can have someone who thinks they see the bigger picture,
right?
But I don't see it yet until they color it in for me.
Right.
Once they throw a few more colors in it, then suddenly I say, aha, this is what you had in mind. And everything cannot be expressed in a linear fashion where you just logically list this follows after this. There are times when you do need a non-linear thinker who just paints the picture for you from just an outline, and then in a non-linear way put color into it.
Right.
So I think that, and I think that's why we've got artists, and then we've got engineers. You don't go to a museum to go and watch a slide rule being used. But there are situations where a slide rule is useful. But when you go to a museum and you see a painting, it appeals to an aspect of you that an engineering thing doesn't appeal.
Right.
So you need both, I think.
We need both. We need both. All right. Okay. Thank you for that. So, watching Reform Studios live, we are seeing the comments coming in. Gabriel watching from Lusaka. We have Milika watching from the Lai Estates. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are discussing top 5 lessons in 40 years or from 40 years of marriage with Mr. and Mrs. Sindano.
Thank you.
And quite a rich experience thus far, and looking forward to the other lessons that you have in store for us. Please, if you do have questions, post them, whether on YouTube or on Facebook, and we'll be able to handle those questions. All right, so then, so we've talked about love for one another and commitment to the vows. Marriage is a God idea, and as such, it should be taken seriously with that commitment that God himself shows. And then, of course, we've now spoken about mutual respect and trust for each other, celebrating those differences. And I love what you said about the whole issue of if you speak of him in an unworthy manner to friends, relatives, they will not respect him. And I think it's a major pitfall that a lot of people find themselves in.
It is.
It's a major pitfall that people find themselves